Welcome to the Communication Mastery Podcast. I'm Mark Burlinson. We're tackling miscommunication with the power of understanding, and we're growing our mastery of the foundation of teamwork and all relationships. So, help me spread the word about stronger, more effective communication by inviting someone to listen with you. Then discuss what you've heard and give me your feedback so we can make this podcast even more valuable. Well, welcome back. After a short summer break, we're starting into season 4 of this podcast with weekly episodes again this season. And so for episode 1 of season 4, I want to revisit the fact that communication is the oxygen of teamwork. That really is the tagline behind all of what we do here on the Communication Mastery podcast. And almost all of life should be teamwork, shouldn't it? There's a reason that solitary is a form of punishment. And in business, teamwork's foundational. I see it again and again with my clients. The successful businesses are the ones who've mastered the art of growing and causing their teams to thrive. It's also one of the hardest things to get right because each person's different. And so this is where communication really comes to the forefront as a key performance indicator for your business. Most of our teams in whatever business you're in, they're not suffering from a lack of effort or a lack of care. Mostly they're caught in hidden patterns of miscommunication. And it's those patterns that need to be uncovered and named clearly. Because once we identify them, then we can begin to address them. If those patterns go unaddressed, then tensions increase, trust erodes, firefighting becomes a way of life. We don't want that, do we? But most teams assume that they're speaking the same language because they work in the same workplace, or they've got the same goals, or they're using the same tools, when in reality, every person on your team has a different way of processing information. Every person on your team is unique in the ways they communicate, the ways they make decisions, the way they express themselves. And when those decisions are invisible, when those differences are invisible, then the decisions they make can often cause problems or conflicts rather than moving the team forward. And those differences are often misread as a lack of care, or maybe as resistance or incompetence, unfortunately. Because they're different, we think that they can't do what they're supposed to do. And that's a terrible obstacle for a team to overcome. So without a shared understanding of communication styles, people usually interpret differences as they don't get me. They misunderstand the folks around them. Or they may interpret it, particularly if they're more motivated to find what's right and wrong in a situation, they'll say, well, they're the problem. And it's hard then to recognize that I might be part of the problem. The natural reaction whenever there is a conflict like that, or a problem an obstacle to overcome, the natural reaction is to double down. We go harder on the natural communication style that we would lead with. So the direct person becomes even more blunt, or the reflective person withdraws further. And of course, none of that helps the team to solve the issues and to overcome those obstacles and problems. So very quickly, what began as a very simple style difference becomes disconnection, defensiveness, even resentment. And if you've been in any kind of leadership for any length of time, you'll know how fatal that can be to teamwork and how much it can drain your resources and your fruitfulness in your business. So in my work with teams, we start by putting language around those differences so that people can see that they're not wrong, they're just wired differently. And once we begin to add that part to the picture, then they're able to adapt with the knowledge that they've gained, not only of their own styles and their own preferences, but also the styles and preferences of others. So if we combine lack of self-awareness with an inability to adapt to others who are different, and then add in a lack of understanding of different communication styles, then we've got a recipe for failure. But my goal with this podcast and with my coaching practice is to turn those 3 problems on their heads, literally turn them around, so that we can increase self-awareness, so that we can deepen understanding of those who are different, and particularly of different communication styles, and teach the skill of adapting to others. Because once I've learned the skill of adapting to others, I find that every aspect of my work is far more fruitful. And you can find the same in your business, whatever your business is. When this approach is embedded into your team's daily life, then the outcome is transformative. And so what we're looking for is not so much a one-off, one-size-fits-all workshop where the manual gets put on the shelf and a few weeks later we're back to the old patterns. What we're looking to do is to equip your team with the skills and the vocabulary necessary to be able to adapt to one another with higher and deeper self-awareness of each of their unique communication styles. So I've written a free guide called The 3 Hidden Reasons Why Your Team Keep Misunderstanding Each Other and How to Fix It. And you can download that from my website. I'll put the link in the information for this episode, or you can go to my website at markberlinson.com and click on the free guide link at the top of the page. Download that today and see if it applies to you. It'll shed some light on some of the challenges you're facing in your specific situation. And then let me know how you'd like to proceed from there. How can I help you put into practice what I've put in the guide so that your team benefits and your business grows? Hope that's helpful to you for this week. I'm glad you've listened to today's podcast, and I trust that you're growing your communication mastery for the sake of your business and the sake of our community. It would mean a great deal to me if you'd leave a review to tell others what you think of what you've heard, but also give me your feedback. Tell me what you'd like to hear more of so that I can include your input in future episodes. I respond personally to every review and every comment, so please go today to your podcast platform and leave me a review, and I'll see you for the next episode. Thank you so much.